Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rochelle, and as you can see here, if you haven't watched my vlog already, we are officially moved into our new home. And I thought what we could do is do a book haul in the new home. Do I have all my books organized onto bookshelves and the way I like them? No. So should I be adding more books to figure out how to organize? Probably not. But here we are, and this is what we're gonna do. Also, I am so distracted because right now I have Cicero and Nugget going and cuddling in front of the camera. So y'all have to see this because it's so cute. Wait, what the heck? They're just too adorable. I swear, like, if one day I become big enough, or big enough, if I have more money, I will probably commission to see if someone can help me write a kid's book with Cicero and Nugget, because I think that would be so adorable and so precious. And yeah, so anyone want to support that idea, just let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, what you're all here for is probably to go over the books that I have here. So as you'll see, this is the stack of books. I am sitting on the floor. I am not tall, but that is pretty much how tall the stack of books is compared to me. So with that being said, let us get started. First one I have here is All Hallows by Christopher Golden, and I believe I saw Wicked reading. I might be wrong, forgive me, my brain is so all over the place with the moving and everything like that. This is one that I saw on her channel and I was like, you know what, I really want to read this one. This seems very creepy. It has Halloween vibes. Now we're in November, Halloween has ended. I didn't really get to celebrate Halloween, so we might have a video where I just do Halloween in November and read a lot of creepy books. I know it's also maybe not the best idea, but I kind of have an idea about going and reading a lot of like haunted house books. Did I move into a new house? Yes. Should I be reading haunted house books? Probably not, but that just seems so much fun and I really want to do it. So yeah, this is the first book that I'm showing here, and it's All Hallows Eve. I probably won't go through a synopsis of any of these books, maybe a few of them, but I feel like it will be 100 years long if we do. So yeah, just know that this one is a creepy Halloween book. And then I can't remember if we talked about this one or not, or I showed it in some place. So this could be a duplicate. If it is, you're not going to see it. I'm going to cut this out of the video. But I have We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kliewer. And this is another book that I really wanted to read. I've heard a lot of good things on, and I had to go and pick it up as well. And it's also a part of one of those book ideas, video ideas, where I read about haunted houses or moving into a new home and something creepy happens. Probably should not read this book. I know a lot of people have also mentioned getting freaked out by it, but I really want to read it. So I have the books a little bit separated, but one of the things that I've really been thinking about doing is rereading ACOTAR, and I have read, I believe, the first couple of books, and then I've read about half of the third book. And I have one of my friends that is also one of Charles's coworkers that has read this book series, and I know a lot of other people have, and I just kind of want to finish it. I don't really like having a book series where I haven't finished it completely and I just started it and never ended it. I want to reread the books that I've already read in the series and then go and finish it. So I ended up going and picking up the other ones. I have another one of the books in the pile down at the bottom, so I won't go and pull it out because it will be like Jenga and probably fall over. But I have A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. There was a Target book sale, so I ended up going and participating in it just because there were some books I had my eye on and Book Outlet just kept selling out of them. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab those ones and then might as well just grab the remaining ACOTAR books that I'm missing. Then I also have You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Jeneva Rose. This was another book that was also on my radar and I really wanted to go and read it. So I did go and snag it as well in the Target sale, and I'm very excited to go and read this one as well. I also have Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I don't think I'm saying that name right, but I've seen this one on a lot of other channels as well, and I have heard that it has very creepy vibes as well, and I just really want to go and read a lot of creepy books. We know me, I make no sense, and I love reading thrillers, horror, stuff like that. So getting the chance to go and read this book, especially hearing that people said that it has those vibes I'm looking for, I'm very excited to pick it up as well. Ooh. Okay, squirrel moment. I just happened to notice when I was putting the book down that there were some dark pages that you could kind of see, and opening it up, look at that. I have no idea what the context is for that, but it looks really creepy and I am here for it. Then I also got The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda? Pena... I'm gonna stop right there, but so you can see, like I said, my brain is not fully functioning with the move and everything like that. But I saw this one when Charles and I were at Target in the checkout line, and I was kind of intrigued by it. I will admit, like, it was really gorgeous, the moon and everything like that. Can't remember. Ooh, look at that. That is stunning. Okay. And it says, one false night, the world will drown in starlight. But I kind of can't get over this. Like, this is gorgeous. It looks like she kind of has celestial tattoos on her. Ooh. Okay. I'm here for it. And then it just has like these gold end pages. I saw this one when we were at the checkout, and I was really intrigued by it, mostly because I really love those sprayed edges. But unfortunately, the only book that they had was damaged, and I wasn't gonna go and pick that one up. So I happened to go and just check because Target still had the sale going on. And since they still had it, I was like, you know what, we're gonna go and grab this book as well because it's so pretty. And I read a little bit of the back and I was like, this sounds kind of interesting. So I'm excited to read this one. I don't know if I'll pick it up anytime soon, but for right now, it kind of feels like a December read for me. I don't know why, but that just feels right at the moment. So this one is from LitJoy. So this is another one that I had pre-ordered, and thankfully it got delivered before we had moved to this house. I do have my forwarding address set, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna work until Tuesday. So anything that happens during that time frame will still get sent there. And with the snow, it just makes me really nervous, especially with books. As you will have seen in some of my past book hauls, I have been getting the books for Fablehaven. It's a book series that I read when I was growing up, but I never got to complete. And when I was thinking about it, suddenly LitJoy was going and saying that they were going to re-release the book series with these special editions. And I was like, okay, why don't I pick those up instead of going and buying the series again? So this one is, I can't see it with the way the light is. It's Brandon Mull, Fablehaven, Secrets of the Dragon's Sanctuary. And this one has a dragon on the cover, which is really cool. And then here is the back of it. And then end pages have dragons on it. I feel like Charles will be very jealous of this one. He loves dragons. And then here's the back. So yeah, I am so close to almost finishing the entire series and getting all the copies. And once I do, I will be reading these books, and I can't wait to redive into the series and the world and just try to, I don't know, recreate some of the nostalgic feelings I had when I was reading the first book, and just the whimsiness, the mysticalness. It definitely had the vibes of, I don't know, kid imagination and the type of worlds that you wish you could see if you ate or drank something and could see stuff that was hidden to you before. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah, I'm very excited to read this. Then we got Amazon. I had completely forgotten that I had agreed to do a buddy read with my friend Kat. I've done buddy reads with her in the past, and just with the move and everything, it completely slipped my mind. And I was like, oh crap, I don't own that book. I should probably get a copy of it. And I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to get it on the Kindle or get a physical. And I just kind of looked at it and I was like, you know what? I don't have a lot of points right now for my Kindle, so I'm just going to go and get a physical. So that one is Brandon Sanderson, Mistborn. I have never read a Brandon Sanderson book before, and I feel like now that I'm on BookTube, everyone has, and I'm kind of missing out. So I feel like this will probably be a good book to go and start, and especially doing a buddy read with a good friend will make it more interesting. So very excited for this. And I know Charles either has read some books by him or has not as well. So depending on that, I will also be making him read this after me. And then I ordered a few more books. I was trying not to order a bunch of books, especially before the move, but I needed to go and get enough just to go and qualify for free delivery. And so with that, I ended up going and adding a few more books to my order. And one of them was Slewfoot by Brom. Everyone's read this book on BookTube, and I also kind of have been feeling like I've been missing out. I also love things that are witchy and dark, and I've heard that a lot of people really love this book, and I've just been hearing so many things about it. So yeah, this is another book that I can't wait to go and finally read and know what everyone's talking about. And then I have The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. This is such a creepy copy and edition. I saw this on Amazon, and like, The Haunting of Hill House, at least the show on Netflix, is one of my favorites. It is so creepy and scary, and like the mother in the show, her outfits are just stunning. I can't remember the actress's name, but I've always loved her ever since she was the mom in Spy Kids. So yeah, anyway, I saw this book when I was doing my search, and I was like, I really do want to read this book at some point, and this edition just looks so cool and creepy. It also does have like these black edges, and it says, no live organism can continue for long to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. I'm probably gonna be really terrified of this as well, but maybe I will read this in my haunted book video idea that I keep talking about. I just think that would be a lot of fun. So this might be on that one. We have another LitJoy box. This was another one of the pre-orders I was mentioning. Okay, so there's a little box thing in there. Sweets and Tarts, the most wondrous bakery in all of Hearts. I don't know if this is something that goes with a book. Oh, is it a candle? I'm a little nervous. Oh wow, that's kind of sweet. So it's supposed to be like a little macaron, and yeah, I mean, it's really cute and sweet. Literally sweet. I'll have to see, because one thing with me is like, I'm very sensitive to certain smells, and depending on the smell, sometimes it can give me a headache. And so when it comes to perfume that I wear or deodorant that I wear, I have to be very careful. I usually tend to stick with a lot of vanilla, and it's like cruelty-free type of stuff, things like that. And those are the few items I can wear that don't actually trigger headaches or anything like that. So if anything, this might be a decoration, but I don't know for sure if I'll end up going and lighting it because I don't want a headache. I feel like it was a free gift though, because I don't remember ordering it at all. So this purchase from LitJoy was kind of spontaneous, and I'm just kind of chuckling at myself for this purchase, but let me go and open it and we'll talk about it more. So I got Heartless by Meyer, and this was totally spontaneous. I was like, oh, that looks pretty. And then I kept seeing more pictures and art from it, and I was like, I kind of want it. So as you can see, it has like this broken mirror. And then on this side, it has this rose. And on the cover, the lighting is kind of making it difficult to fully show it. And then the back. Oh, and then here's the edges. Really pretty. And then this image. And it wasn't until I saw that image that I realized, oh, this is like a retelling of Alice in Wonderland and the Evil Queen. So like I said, I don't really know anything about this book, but it's beautiful. And this was actually the image that I saw that really stole the show and made me want to get it. I was just like, okay, I need to know about this guy and what's going on here. And we know I'm not a romance girly. We know that's not my thing, but I was very intrigued and it looked very dark and we shall see. But yeah, so I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer. So maybe I could read it and let y'all know what I think in a video. We'll see. Let me know. And then I've already talked about this book so many times, and I did mention in one of my book hauls that I had this book, but I didn't actually have the physical copy yet. It still hadn't arrived. So I had canceled my order and reordered it again. And so that is The Solstice Court by Jade Juniper. I finally have my own physical copy of it in person, and I'm very happy about that. It is just so pretty, and I didn't want to keep staring at digital images of it. I wanted my own copy to finally be here. So I have it now. I'm very happy about it, and whenever I figure out my whole shelving situation, this will probably be displayed in a way where I can see it because it's so pretty. Okay, and then I had talked earlier about how I was trying to finish my collection for the ACOTAR series. So I did go and get A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is one of the other books that I was missing. I was only missing 2 out of the entire series. So now that I have them all, I'm probably going to go and reread them. Probably after this month, because I know some people have talked about getting into a reading slump after they finish the series because there's nothing that they can really get as interested in at first after reading the series. Just like it's a little bit of a reading hangover, I guess, for lack of better terms. So I probably won't go and read it this month just because last month with the move I was dealing with a reading slump and I don't really want to repeat that anytime soon. Then we have a package, and I have a really funny story with this one. I've mentioned before that I use threads and everything, and a lot of the time I'll go and find different authors on there, especially smaller authors. And I've mentioned before that I love going and supporting smaller authors. They deserve just as much hype, and I want to go and talk about their books on my channel as well. And I just happened to see this one author. She posted a cute little cottage and how it was perfect and matched her idea of a dream home. And she mentioned something about being in North Dakota. And I was like, as someone that grew up in South Dakota and doesn't ever want to go back, living there, I mean, except for visiting family and friends and stuff like that, I can completely understand. And we just kind of kept talking back and forth and found this very weird coincidence that it turned out I actually went to school with her husband, and her husband was actually one of my childhood friends. So when we were talking back and forth, I was like, okay, let's not go and dox ourselves. Would it be okay if I go and DM you? And so when we were talking through there, she ended up going and telling me who her husband was. And I was like, he was one of my childhood friends. So it was just one of those small world moments and everything. So I was like, okay, I need to go and get her book. Like, I need to have a book for, you know, my childhood friend's wife. I need to have her book. So this is one that she just released, and I had messaged her about it and how I was going to save it for my video on here to talk about versus going and doing a random different post about receiving the book. This is one of her most recent books that she has published. Her other books are novellas. So this book is The Deathbringer by A.M. Eno, and I am so excited to go and read this one. I have never actually had someone that I sort of know in a way that has written a book, so I think this is so cool, and I can't wait to go and read about it. Oh, and she did include some art in here. So these must be the characters in her book. That's so cool. And then when I was going and ordering it through her website, which I'll go and include that information in the description, you could go and put a request for a signature and everything. So like I said, this is the first time I'm opening it because I wanted to open it for my book haul video. So here we go. It says, Rochelle, it has been an absolute joy getting to know you. You seem like such a lovely person. I hope we can continue to build an amazing friendship. That is so sweet. Oh my goodness. So she did not know that I was actually ordering one of her books. And when she saw the note that I put in for my order when I was asking for a signature, that's what she ended up going and writing. So that is so precious. And like I said, I can't wait to go and read this book. It is fantasy. And I'll just read like the little blurb up here that says, enter the perilous world of Themoria. Hopefully I'm saying that right. A realm where power is the ultimate currency and the line between friend and foe is blurred. The Deathbringer, the first installment of a gripping dark fantasy series, is a must-read for those who relish the intrigue of Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass and the captivating mythology of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, that sounds amazing. So again, if you're interested in reading this, it's The Deathbringer by A.M. Eno, and I'll have her store in the description down below. She's really, really sweet and, you know, a smaller author, so definitely go and give her some love as well. Then let us see. Oh, the other one is from, or this next one is from Target. So most of my Target order arrived right away, and then the rest of it kind of was separately shipped, which was annoying. But luckily, I was able to get it before we left. The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. Nothing Stays Buried Forever. So when I've heard from this one is something about like zombie type of things, and we know I love zombies, so this one also sounds very interesting, very up my alley, and creepy as well. So I'm probably just gonna have, you know, like Halloween in November, since I didn't really get to celebrate my favorite month with all the moving and everything. So yeah, we're just gonna have Halloween in November because I want to read all these books right away. All right, and then we've reached the last box. So this last box is from Book Outlet. I think they had another sale or there was something that was going on, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be my last book order before we move, because then I really, really, really need to be good. So yeah, I'm excited to go into this because I can't quite remember what I ordered. I just remember that it's mostly horror. Mostly horror or thrillers. Monstrous by Jessica Lewis. This one, the cover just looked so beautiful, like with these scaly, I'd almost say like snakes around the sides. I don't know, it just looked really eerie and creepy, and I was definitely interested. It says, don't go outside past dark, come straight home after church, and above all, never ever go into redwood. I'm excited. I also need to be quicker because it looks like my camera battery is slowly ticking down. So yeah, I'll have to continue rushing through this. So then I have Wicked Like a Wildfire. It says, lush, delicious, bewildering. I think I ended up going and getting this thinking like this would be a great addition to some of my witchy books that I picked up, and I just happened to go and see this one pop up while I was looking through all the books that Book Outlet had, so I might have to add this to my witchy pile as well. Then I have The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling, and this was another one that I kind of had on my wish list for a while, and I was like, you know what, let's go and finally pick it up. I was trying to kind of get a lot of the books that I had my eye on for a while because, like I said, this might be my last book haul for a while because I really need to save up, and so I just wanted to snag up a lot of the ones that I knew I'd regret not getting once I kind of put myself on a very loose book ban. Then I have Return to Fear Street by R.L. Stine. I really enjoyed the movies that are on Netflix, and I know that there's a lot of books in this series. I don't know necessarily if I ever plan on reading all of them, but when I saw that the first book was available on Book Outlet, I really wanted to pick it up, and I also loved the way that the cover looked. Then I have The Stranded, The Ship is Their World, To Survive They Must End It, Sarah Daniels. I believe this is kind of like a dystopian one where the people are living on this boat out, but if they ever hope to like improve their lives or have anything change, they're going to have to get to land again, from my understanding. And so this sounded really cool. I also love very apocalyptic, dystopian types of books. It's some of my favorite things to go and read because I just love the psychology of how it changes people and how they go and act in those situations. So I'm very interested to go and read this one soon. Then I have 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. This is, I think, one where a girl ends up going and picking up a ride by some people and instantly goes and regrets it, and some stuff gets very creepy. And this is probably going to be one of the books I plan on reading in December, or once we get more snow that's actually sticking. The snow that I was talking about earlier is non-existent right now, but I plan on doing a series or a video where I only read books with white covers or that involves snow. So this is going to definitely be a part of that. Ooh, okay, I did not realize that this one was so tiny. Oh, she's tiny, and the text is huge. Okay, so this one is Stranger Danger by Maren Stoffels, and it says it says a grade A nightmare. Lotus, Nova, and Vin need to get serious about studying. They've even rented a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere so they can focus. No phones, no internet, no distractions. But they're not alone. Someone else is studying too. Says someone else is studying too. Studying them. Okay. I looked at that weird, but I didn't realize how skinny this book was. So this will be a very quick read. I might read this just so I can get my book count up for the month because I feel like I've been slacking for a while. And then I have Into the Sublime by Kate A. Borman. And I think Wicked Reading, aka Sarah, had this one mentioned on her channel as well. And I don't know how comfortable I will be with reading this one. I feel like this one will probably be one that creeps me out, but I'm excited to read it. I mean, just look at how creepy this cover it is. It kind of reminds me of like the old school horror movies in a way. So cool. Then I have Gone Dark by Amanda Panich. There are no heroes when the lights go out. So this is another kind of like apocalyptic book. I believe this is involving a world where like there's no electricity or anything like that. And I love apocalyptic books. They're so much fun to read. They're terrifying, but so much fun to read. So here's another one. Oh, and I like the way this looks. The spine. Then I have The Wicked Unseen by Gigi Griffiths. And for a second there I was like, wait, do I already have this book? But I don't. I just have one that looks really similar. And that would be this one. The Girls Who Disappeared by Claire Douglas. I just had a moment where I was like, wait, do I already have this book? But no, it's just because the text is yellow and also kind of similar text. Or not text, font. It says Something Wicked This Way Comes. Another really creepy book. I told you, I mostly got like horror. I was in a certain place or certain mood, I guess. And I finally got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This one I definitely want to read in my series of Is It Worth the Hype? Reading viral books and telling you my thoughts on them. And I've really been wanting to go and read this one, especially since I think a movie or a TV show got released recently on Netflix, and I haven't watched it yet because I wanted to read the book first. That's always, something that's very because sometimes the book is better and sometimes the movie or show itself is amazing, but if you read the book, then it completely changes what your initial thoughts could have been on it. But I still got the book and I want to see my thoughts on it. So then I got The Killer in Me by Margot Harrison, and it says a must-read debut for fans of fast-paced, eerie psychological thrillers. Raise your hand. I guess I could raise a shovel, but I don't have a shovel, so we're just gonna raise our hand. And it says, hasn't he lived long enough? Why not? I could take him like a thief in the night. I think I remember when I was looking up this book, basically this girl decides to take it into her own hands to go after a serial killer because no one has done anything about it. No one's found proof, but she knows it's that person. So I think this is where it's like, what if you're actually the killer? And what if it's not who you thought it was type of thing? So this sounds like one of those brain twisting books, and I'm very excited to read it. So then I have The Girl from the Well by Rin Chupico, and the girl on the cover kind of gives me Ring vibes, but I've really been wanting to read other books by Rin Chupico. I actually read The Sacrifice not too long ago, and it was interesting. I know this author really loves writing horror types of things, and since they are Filipino, I just feel like it's only right for me to read more of their books that they've written to go and support a Filipino author. Then I have Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar. And it says, the kids are not all right. I have a feeling this book will also scare me quite a bit, but I really wanted to read it. I saw a lot of people talking about it last month, and since we decided this in this haul video, that I'm just gonna have Halloween in November, this will probably be on the list as well. Then I have Don't Tell Soul by Kristen Miller. It says, all the best ghosts are girls. I can't quite remember what this one was about either, but I saw it when I was looking at Book Outlet, and I thought this book looked so cool because of the cover, and it just seemed very eerie as well, so I wanted to read it. All right, and then last book from the haul is A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. And so it looks like someone said, Hill House is back and as haunting as ever in this vividly imagined return to Shirley Jackson's iconic setting. Elizabeth Hand weaves eerie beauty into the genuine terror lurking in her pages, crafting some of the most striking scares I've read in years. This sounds so good. I'll probably have to read the other book first before reading this one, just so I have a little bit more of the background from the actual world in my mind when I'm reading this. But I am so excited. I think I have quite the assortment of books, and I'm so excited to go and dive into all of them. So yeah, this is my book haul. I had 31 books in this haul, and one of them, a couple of them might be repeaters, one of them 100% is, just because I was so excited to finally get the physical copy and show it to you in my hands. But yeah, I'm so excited about all these books. I have no clue where I'm gonna put them because obviously I have a bunch of books here that aren't on a bookshelf currently. They actually do have bookshelves, but one of them isn't in my office space, and I really do want to go and switch to different bookshelves, but that's a whole other story for a whole other video. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. If you are as book obsessed as me and love pretty covers, also let me know in the comments below. And if you made it this far, please leave a stack of books in the comments, because to know I'm not alone when it comes to loving books so much. And hi, Nuggie, did you wake up now? Hi. Oh, she's been cuddling with Woes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Nugs. Hi. Hey, pretty girl. So with that being said, I think Nuggie and I are going to go, and I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I always want you to remember that you're worthy and capable of amazing things. Love you all. Bye, friends.